Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? So I did a video and I missed my days up. Today is Takeover Tuesday instead of Cool Down Thursday, and I called it Cool Down Tuesday instead of Takeover Tuesday. So forgive me, people. It was late for me, so I decided. But nevertheless, welcome back to another episode edition of Live Wire Sports Media, and you know who I am. So I got a treat for y'all today. Now, I usually do not do too much Angel Reese videos. I really don't. If I do, it's just, to talk about her game or whatever the case may be. And I try to be very objective because that's what I do. But this latest one is not even about basketball. It's about a comment she made a year ago. A comment that she said, well, she likes to be the villain. She feels that at that time, she'd take the bad guy. She said at the end, they got, women's basketball is at a peak. She's like, hey, you know, when I go down in history, it's not because of one person, it's because of her too. Well, fast forward to this year, a comment was made, a question was made, and she pretty much shut that person down. Now, if y'all didn't understand, if y'all need a reminder, here you go.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
So she says not because of one person, it's because of her too. Well, okay, let's visit that point. What was her attendance record? What was her jersey sales? What was her gate revenue for her team, the Chicago Sky, last year? Has she garnered any box office viewership outside of playing against Caitlin Clark last year? No, she didn't. Even on Barbie night, she got outshined on her own floor. Caitlin Clark was signing autographs to fans, and they got run off the floor on Barbie night. Now, they only beat Indiana one time last year, and Indiana beat them 3-1. Now they have them 5 times this year. My thing is this here is that, and I don't dislike injuries. I That's not the case. She made her mark, but she made her mark off her that one person. And people seem to forget because they want to defend everything that she does. And then when you talk about it, they want to say you haters. Same thing when we talk about Caitlin Clark. Everybody will say, well, we know a lot of people do hate Caitlin Clark. Nobody hates Angel Reese. It's just that Angel Reese make herself out to be a villain, and so you got to stand on it. If you make a comment like that, stand on it. Stand on it. Nobody's going to look at you any differently. Now, I'm going to forward this to now. So they had media day. Chicago Sky had media day, and the journalist asked the question, and she gave a blank answer. The journalists have every right to answer the question. She has every right to not answer the question. It's perfectly fine. No harm, no foul in that. Take a look.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next
getting
question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom. ESPN, please unmute.
If you look at her face, if you look at her face right there, she looked disgusted. But but she didn't expect that question to come back up. That's the problem. She didn't expect that to come back up. Now, Angel Reese has made her mark off the court. No disputing about that. She has made her mark off the court. She just recently partnered up with Maggie Johnson. She has done great things off the court. But people are critical of her because of her on-court play. Missed layups, double rebounds. If true basketball knowledgeable people, fans, realize when you watching basketball and we see the number of WNBA players, women, that misses layups, it's a problem. She is no exception from that. She missed a ton. Yeah, she gets her own putbacks back, but look how many times when she drives to the basket, she throws the ball up. She doesn't lay it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's been practicing in the off season, doing certain things. But to me, I feel like she should have took a year off out of Unrivaled and worked on her game for fully. Soon as Tyler Marsh had got hired, she's supposed to be the superstar of that team. She's supposed to be the figurehead of that team. Now, really, we could say Camila Cardoza, she was overseas playing. They didn't have nobody at that time. Marina Mabrey gone. Kennedy Carter gone. She was the main figurehead there. So my thing is this here. If you want to view yourself as a true basketball player, sometimes you got to eliminate the outside stuff to focus on your craft. Not half-ass focus on your craft, but all the way focus on your craft. We sit here and watch Caitlin Clark. We sit here and watch Asia Wilson took a whole season off to get her body right for this year. We seen Caitlin Clark had a lot of different stuff going on, but guess what she did? She still got into the gym. She didn't play in Unrivaled. You had Lisa Leslie, one of the best centers, rebounders to ever play in the WNBA, work with you, and you went right back to your old ways of playing. My thing is this here, it's no competition about who gets credit, who doesn't get credit, because we already know for a fact the matter is that all the viewership and attendance records are owned by one person and one person only, and that's Caitlin Clark. Now, will things change this season for the Sky because they got new pieces? Probably so. Their attendance record, their ticket sales has went up. I'm not gonna knock that, but when you say something a year ago, just remember, just remember, I don't care if it's 20 years ago, stuff comes back to light. It comes back to you. A lot of people think, hey, Angel Reese is not serious about basketball. A lot of people think she just want to be a podcaster, influencer. She been to the Met Gala. She had to come back for a preseason game. She was tired, and maybe that's why she didn't perform well in the last preseason game. Sometimes you can spread yourself so thin where you think you're doing everything right because you got to do this, you got to do that. Then you sat down with your podcast over the summer talking to DJ and Carrington, talk about, there could be a strike or they might strike. You didn't say, well, we going to strike, but we know that you could afford to strike out because you have the money. You get more money off the court than half of them WNBA players. DJ Carrington ain't getting money like that off the court. Nobody is investing in her like that. So my thing about this is, I think Angel Reese, her approach this year could be, hopefully be a different approach. I'm not here to bash her. I'm just calling out certain things. When you make a comment, you need to stand on it. You need to stand on it, whether if you want to address it or not. Because it might not be the last time that somebody's going to ask you that question. I promise you. It's not going to be the last time. The look on your face told it all because you didn't think that that question was going to come back up. We already know what it was from college. If Caitlin Clark never played you in the championship game, you probably wouldn't even thought of Caitlin Clark. Yeah, y'all played against each other. You beat her when she was at Maryland. You was at Maryland. Okay, whoop-de-doo. That's fine. Y'all played in AAU when y'all was young. Y'all familiar with each other. But don't sit here and act like you like her when in all actuality, deep down inside, you don't. It might not show on the camera, but away from the camera, yeah, we know what it is. So my thing is this here is that if if you are about basketball, then be about basketball. I don't care what your personal stuff outside the court is. It don't really matter to me. But if you're gonna be about basketball, then be about basketball. Prove people wrong and say, hey, okay, we know that because people know that Caitlin Clark is the driving force because if you take Caitlin Clark away, the numbers are totally different. Nobody even before you came in the league, Angel Reese, the numbers was different. Yeah, yeah, you play a part. Not saying you don't play a part in it. You do play a part. But don't make like you are the driving force in what the ratings are for these teams. No. So that's why I feel like at the end of the day, things like this always gonna come back to bite a person. Don't make comments that you can't stand on. Me personally, I have I have said stuff, and when it came back to me, I had to eat it. I had to stand on it. But now you are looked at as one of the leaders of your team. So now you got to walk accordingly. You got to do things differently. Because I think if Teresa Weatherspoon was there, I think her reckless, nonsense behavior, like she was saying last year, would have played out of this year. I think Tyler Marsh is a nice coach, and I think he's going to hold certain players accountable, and I think that he's going to expect more from her. So now she has to talk differently in the media. Is it any surprise? No, it's not. It's not. Because we already see what the organization is about. We already seen what it's about. So, I mean, my thing is this here, again, if you're going to talk about something, stand on it, please. Don't sit there and just like blow it off. Like, dang, I ain't expecting them to come back with that question. It was over a year. People might not say anything that first time around, but they keep it in the back of their mind. They keep it in the back of their mind. Now you say you don't have no beef with Caitlin. You say you don't have no beef with her. Now, yeah, y'all played in an All-Star game. It was one little assist, blah blah blah. But Would you play with her? Yeah, if it benefits you. That's what it was. If you play with her, it'll benefit you. So that's my take on the situation. Me personally, like I said, I don't have no hard feelings towards Angel. I don't, never did, never will. When it comes down to basketball, that's where my analogy stands for. I think that her game could do a whole lot in improvement. She she made strides. She played. She ran point forward. Now, if that's a recipe for success later in the season, don't know. Only Coach Tyler Marsh might know that. But all the outside stuff, we already seen it. Because now that you didn't comment on it, somebody, I'm sure you want to. You wanted to. I'm sure you wanted to, but then you say no comment. So that is my take on it. Whether you agree or disagree, that's fine. But like I said before, if you make a comment and you think that you are part of the solution or think that you part of the equation, then stand on it. Say, yeah, I made that comment and I still feel strongly about it. Then you can move on. But see, you didn't want to laugh because there was probably was a follow-up question to that too, if you had answered that. That's what I'm saying. Let me know what you think about Angel Reese's comment. Do you think it was a lot of hot air? Do you feel like she did the right thing? You know, not elaborating, not feeding into it. I mean, like I said before, she has every right to not answer it, and the reporter has every right to answer the question. There's no harm, no foul to it. But again, if you make a comment, learn how to stand on it. Until the next episode, Live Wire Sports Media, this is your Takeover Tuesday. Be back with you with another video. You know what it is.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.